Hello everyone, welcome to the build guide for my Cyclone Bezerker. It is a level 96 Cyclone Bezerker, and I think this is close to its final iteration. Only thing I could improve on is probably the weapons and perhaps the gloves, and yeah, that's probably it. Um, let's go over the main idea of this build. So Cyclone got buffed recently in this patch. It is now a channel, and it gets up to 7 stages if it's a level 21. So this is how big my radius is. So it's not like the biggest thing because I don't have a +3 weapon, or I'm not using the offhand, the 3 white socket offhand. So that's that, and I am pairing it with impale. So these two are the most important links. So impale pretty much records a portion of your physical attack, and every subsequent hit dealt to that same enemy will deal that recorded damage as a reflect. Alright, so you don't get that back. So by default it is 5 stacks. With the impale Watcher's Eye, you get 2 more. If you are a champion, you get 2 more, so maximum of 9 and 7 otherwise, right? And you can stack some impale effect where you get bonus damage out of each stack. So stacking impale effect and impale chance, it is a very good way of dealing damage. So that's where this gem is. This is what this gem is doing. So everything else just supports this interaction. So infused channeling makes it that we deal extra damage during cycloning, and we get the buff. We get a physical damage reduction buff taken. Pulverize for the extra AoE and extra damage. Fortify because we are using perseverance, and perseverance gives us an additional 20% attack speed. And when we have fortify, and we always have fortify, so, and this is recently buffed, so that's why we're also using it. And we're using melee physical. We're not using brutality in this setup because porcupines are still very scary and they still one shot. So shattering or bleed explosions are a way to solve it. I'm not going bleed explosions, so I cannot use brutality. How I'm getting the cold damage is from the Shaper amulet with the 20% extra damage as cold, and I crafted the melee weapon range on here and on my gloves. I could get additional melee range on my helmet, but I prefer to use the Devotos for the extra movement speed and attack speed, just for better clear. And I got the Blood Rage enchant on here myself, so that is very lucky, but that's no way, that's not necessary at all. So and it's also linked with a minus 15 total mana cost, or else Cyclone is very hard to manage with its new cost because it is a channel skill, right? If you don't have this type of chest, then you have to get minus mana cost on your rings. And speaking of my rings, this is a very mediocre ring, right? It's just res and int. I needed a lot of int on this build because we're on the bottom side of the tree and we're using infused channeling, right? And that's a pure int gem. And the other one is a curse on hit with the Assassin's Mark. Everything else is pretty garbage. My boots, I one elked this myself very early on in the league. I could probably get some better ones now, but this is just life res. And gloves is int accuracy and a little bit of life, with an open prefix for the +1 range. My foils are, this one is around 350 PDPS and this one is around 400, so this one could definitely be upgraded a bit more, but I do not need the extra damage, as I cleared the entire game. Like I killed Uber Elder Deathless, I killed Shaper Deathless before. Now I'm just farming the Toxic Sewer as my primary farming map. I'm just testing things out right now. And on my offhand, it is a Invictus for the Rampage. So I would kill one mob at the start of the map with this, and I would gain the Rampage stacks throughout. I'm also using one Inspire Learning. This is not necessary at all. That is just for clear and the timeless battles. If I'm doing bosses like Shaper and Uber Elder, I would use this ring instead. So, not ring, sorry, this jewel instead. So it's just attack speed and life. So 2 attack speed and a maximum life roll. This is very similar, attack speed, life. And I think I have one more. Nope, I am just using 3 jewels apparently. But attack speed, life is the rolls that you want to go for. Flasks, I'm using a Lion's Roar and Taste of Hate. Lion's Roar mainly because Molten Shell is very, very buffed right now. So this will just turn this on whenever I'm in trouble, right after I consume a stack of Lion's Roar. Let's talk about the links. So I have a level 4 Enlightened linked with Pride, Flesh and Stone, and Maim. This will soon be level 6. And yeah, so Flesh and Stone, well, I'll explain the auras later. Here I have Molten Shell, Vol Molten Shell, cast on damage taken, Blood Rage, and Summon Ice Golem. Here I have Dread Banner, Blood and Sand, Bezerk, and I'm just leveling this this is just a miscellaneous. I could use this for anything else. Here I have a Endurance Charge on melee stun, Leap Slam, and faster attacks. Don't need Fortify because I'm using Fortify my main links. Here I have Blind, Ancestral War Chief, and a Vault Double Strike. So I'm using a Vault Double Strike because every subsequent hit to a target with Impale, the Impale will deal its damage reflect. So this just basically quadruples your Impale damage output, which is a lot, right? And I put Blind on, so when I switch my stance to Blood stance, I still have the blind chance. Let's go over the auras. I'm using Blood and Sand for the extra AoE, right? Switching to Blood stance for the extra single target. Very self-explanatory. Pride, because Pride will give me +2 Impale stacks plus some extra more physical damage. Flesh and Stone, very self-explanatory. It is just more damage, right? More damage within this AoE right here. And if it's in Blood stance, they get maimed. I linked I should have linked Maim to. I did not link Maim. Well, this will soon be a Maim gem link because Maim works with the extra Maim chance in here. So whenever they're maimed, they would take the extra Maim more multiplier. So I would have to change that in a little bit. I didn't even realize that. So this will have to be a 4-off color. I switch these two around. And finally, I'm using a Dread Banner. Dread Banner just gives me extra Impale chance, an extra 20% Impale chance. So that's pretty sweet, I think. Right? So all in all, on my Cyclone, I have chance to chance to maim, it is 80%. Sorry, chance to impale is 80%, and if it's within my dread banner, it will be 100% chance to maim. Right. I think that's everything. Let's go over the passives. So I opted for Bezerker because I wanted to try out the Blitz and the Rage mechanic, and I just wanted to go really fast with this character. If you want extra AoE, Slayer would be a very good option, and using a two-handed. So here the point is to get as much melee range with swords or dual wield as possible, and that's what I went for. So range with swords, AoE, extra range with swords, and extra range over here. So 4 range on the tree, and 2 here, possibly 3 from my helm. And that's a lot of AoE, right? So that's why Cyclone is so popular right now. So you can achieve some pretty large and thick areas like that. Alright, so that's the build guide, I think. I'm not sure what else there is to talk about. Pantheon, well, one of the challenges is to unlock everything, so yeah, like you could use anything you like. I opted for this because I don't have that much life, and if I take a crit, I don't take extra damage from that next crit, so it's pretty helpful. And right here, I just cannot be blinded, cannot be maimed, so I don't get slowed, I don't get decrease in accuracy. So I'm using this, or the immune to poison is also a very good option. Yeah, let's do a map showcase and get on with the video. Okay, that's good enough for me. I think I have some pre-rolled maps, and this is just elk and go. There's no special requirements of doing these type of maps. So I'm not sure how well this is going to translate onto the video, but I'm not sure if it's going to lag or not. So I'm just going to take off my back attachment. Alright, so first things first, I switch to my Invictus, and I get my rampage stacks going. You leap pack to pack, and you freeze shatter everything because I opted for the crit sword route. You can, yeah, I'm sustained. You can go for the Corsair sword, where you don't go crit, but I've gotten used to playing shatter builds so much that I don't know how to deal with porcupines without shattering no more. So that's a big lag over there. Alright. Huge lag spikes. Couldn't even show off the Bezerk range, but it's okay. Oh, I generally use Bezerk when I clear the Legion stuff, so I hit the entire room. So, alright, let's go back, pick up some loot. The reason why I'm doing Toxic Sewer is because the layout is so good for Cyclone that I don't even need to go for extra AoE, right? There's no point of me getting more AoE than what I have right now because I already hit wall to wall. Alright, I almost died on video, but yeah, that's a quick map, right? So it's pretty much the playstyle. It's pretty fast. If you don't even loot, you just pick up the big drops, then you just go, right? Alright, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.